Hey y'all, welcome back to Final 14 Productions. Today we will be presenting to you the Heavensward dungeon, part of the Expert Roulette series, Neverreap. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe either y'all. Moving into Neverreap, the first Trash Mob series is fairly straightforward, as you are going to be moving front to back all the way through the dungeon. There are no real obstacles in your way on the way to the first boss, other than the tornadoes. While they pose no real threat, they can make you look like a complete idiot. So, this is the idiot's guide on how not to handle tornadoes. And winner. So, after the complete idiot's guide on how not to handle tornadoes, we finished the last trash mob, and we are introduced to our first boss, Nunchucks. Regardless. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it a hot air balloon? No, it's Nunchucks. The fight against Nunchucks at first seems straightforward. You want to avoid the large circular AoE on the ground. All seems well, but then the fog sets in. What is this fog? Well, it's not fog. It's mist. Hides Nunchucks, reveals your true foe, Nunchuck Shadow. And I knew Nunchucks was appropriate. Sorry, I digress. When fighting Nunchuck Shadow, you will start to see small feather ads spawn on the board. You must kill as many of these as possible, unless you're just burning the boss, which is a recommended method after item level 170. Anyway, not killing these ads will result in their explosion and a stacking debuff upon all party members, which increases incoming damage taken. Kinda hurts if you're a tank. Definitely hurts worse if your tank dies and you become a tank as a DPS or healer. Best avoided, as to stop the always inevitable crying from a healer. And after we down Nunchucks and his shadow, we move on to the second series of trash mobs. Trash mobs can be handled in the same fashion as all trash mobs. The only recommendation would be the divine best. Pull first two, kill the tree, pull the second two, kill them. After we finish this trash mob, we are introduced to our second boss encounter, vaanu. Feel like I nailed that one. The fight against vaanu is straightforward. It is a burn. There is a conal cleave the tank should avoid at all costs. It is also recommended that the tank use DPS stance after gaining sufficient aggro. The healer mechanic of this fight is Morrow Cloud, which targets a random party member and inflicts them with bleed. The healer should cleanse this. The major mechanic of this fight is Sacred Totem, which marks a random party member, followed by Totem Chant, which will put a large circular AoE on the ground. If there are any of the totems that were dropped upon party members inside of the Totem Chant circular AoE area, those totems will turn into ads. idiot alert, it happens here. It is recommended that this does not happen. As you can see, the ad tethers to the boss. Vaanu becomes undamageable, and the totems just keep coming. The tank and healer, or the lowest 2 DPS, should be the ones who move the totems out of the zone. This guy needs to be burned. The longer this goes, the more painful it becomes. Make sure at all costs to move the totems. And with Vaanu down, we move on to our third and final trash mob series. Only thing here, water spouts. You can see that I stand in them a few times as a DPS. That is fine. As a tank, you want to avoid them as they apply dropsy, which increases your water damage taken. There is water damage given by some of these mobs. As we clear the last mob, we are then introduced to the final boss, Wakion. Best I got. Wakion's a breeze. Literally. As the fight begins, there are no real mechanics to worry about other than Divine Mist. It will target a random party member, and it will place an ad called Divine Mist next to them. I recommend killing them as soon as possible. They can and will aggro onto a healer. Once Wakion becomes untargetable, take that back. He is targetable. Once he becomes undamageable and he just runs around the board, get out of his way, because he can't hurt you. Recommend killing the Divine Mist ads first, then the Divine Gales. You must then run back to the front of the boss for Turbine. Turbine is the knockback that you just saw. That will knock you off the platform. Think Titan. And look, it's our old friend the Tornadoes. Yeah, the longer this fight goes, the more tornadoes spawn onto the board. They will not knock you off of the platform. They will make you look like a complete idiot and will toss you all about. As a black mage, any caster, really, this is not ideal, as it will interrupt your cast. Again, kill the mist first, followed by the gales, get out of the way of Wakion, and when the ads are dead, don't forget to stack on the boss. You need ground behind you. It is not a huge knockback, but it will knock you off. Killing the gales first will result in what you just saw, and that is having mist left, which again do target the healer, and we all know the healer will cry. As the fight finishes up, you will see 2 tornadoes on the board. There can be 3. Finish him before that happens. And we here at Final 14 would now like to take the time to thank you for watching our video, supporting our websites. Don't forget, we're always recruiting players of all caliber and fly in game. We're on the Primal Data Center, Leviathan server. Get good, get great, or get gone. But definitely come back and see us now, y'all.